Wala rin hulas ang nadihan namin. What is the meaning of Levitico 1? 4 or say 4. Let's just read. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto I, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd of the flock. This is the meaning too of the pigs that I have just told you in the other record, that the spirit went into the herd of the flock, which is the jump into the edge, into the shallow, into the water, If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntarily, will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregations before me. This too is many meaning into this. Let him offer a male without blemish, the simple of me also as an offering, which is I voluntarily lay down my life as a tabernacle for my congregations, for my 144,000. For my 144,000, I voluntarily offer my life. You say, lay down my life at the door of my father's congregation, which was going to my tabernacle, And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. What does that mean? And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. This I'll carry on. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, before me. I just said, why do I have to say this? You must, because Bible is me. It is me. The priest Aaron's son shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around about, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of my papa's congregation, my dad's congregations. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut into his pieces. And the sons of man, the priest, shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priest and my Aaron's son shall lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire which is upon my altar. But the inwards and the legs shall washed in water, and shall be burned on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor. In my book it says aroma, sweet aroma, or in your word, savor unto I. And if his offerings be of the flocks, namely of the sheep or of the goats, we don't accept the offering of the namely sheep, or of the goats, we accept this. For a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring a male without blemish. A male without blemish is also a spirit understanding, And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before I, and I, as priest, Aaron's son, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. And he shall cut it into his pieces, his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order the wood that is on the fire which upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all, and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, or of a sweet aroma. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering for I is false, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. What is this supposed to mean? Women, all of this here is about the herd, H-E-R-D, which is also the symbol in John 4. John 4 about the pigs that that John 4 hula sino din yana that I oganara sana din yana no nugula e adonara pigs that herd jump into the water muka e agunara ulala e gara usana de ang gada yana na niya na to kadarala. In my book it is different. It is in your Matthew 32. This is the mixed up the story because I said, and this is written to me in many different versions, just as like you read, or you must. So in Matthew 8:32, it's the pigs that the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Is the same is what Leviticus means. Leviticus 1. It's about the pig, a herd of pig, which is also a herd of pig that jump. The whole herd rushed down the steep bank. You get it, you man? Levitico is means of a pork, a pork chop, pork chop, which is offering made by fire of a sweet savors, sweet savors, and the blood of it should be sprinkled by the roundabout upon by the altar. It doesn't mean by the roundabout by the altar. You sprinkle the blood. It's like when you cut, when you have a little cut of in your skin, you have a small cut. You sprinkle it into roundabout of your house. You say house, women, in the wall and any WALL of your house. Which is I did this. I did this in the houses where I was. I sprinkle when every time I have a cut, it's either I sip this or I sprinkle it, I sprinkle it into the dust, into the dust. It's like I sip it and then it's either I swallow it in or because it's my blood, you swallow it in for it not to blaspheme yourself, as I, the Lord your God, as the tabernacle, of the congregations, of the. So it's either you, when I'm cut like this and it was unintentional, it's like because, I cannot hold any sharp things because when I hold it, it's I get cut. So when it happens to me, I sprinkle it into the walls or a table or something or anywhere in where I see that needed to be blood sprinkles, or blood touched. I say touched, blood touched. You touched it, And this burnt offering, the head of the burnt offering, he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering. This is about the head of the lechon, you called roast pork, the whole roast pork, When you have the whole, just head of the roast pork, If you have just the head of the pork, then you touch its head, Which is, it shall be accepted for your atonement. That was before, That was before. It should have been before. And through that, you allow yourself to work through fasting. After you did that, because that is what the payment you have to do. Once you offer a herd, you touch its head. It's like in where I am, and my aunt. In her Christmas, they do this, women. That is why I have to die and make my days because I wasn't born in December 25, women. I wasn't born in December 25. It is made up. Why I make it into my channel? I burned it to my channel, so there's no more birthing pain. There is no more, so that it's the last. And then, the bullock means here, and he shall kill the bullock before me. You know the egg of the pig, you throw it into the airs. You know, you throw it into the airs, which means you throw into the, usually in where I came from, my dad threw it onto into the sea on the top of the house, you know, on the top of that your house, so that your house is a fleet place for the angels. You know, it's a fleet place for the angels because you have done an offering. You know, it's the bullock, it's the egg of the pigs. You know, which is that pig should be of young age, so that young age it should be a male, because it's a two meaning in that. It's an offering of the body of the Christ, and then it's also an offering for the spirit, you know, which is the, you know, the pig. It's in where I am, they roast a whole pig, you know, they roast a whole pig, humans, and then when it's done, it's like when they roast the whole pig, after that they lay it into the table, which is called altar, you know, it's called altar, and then they lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. The table is you called upon the altar, you know, and then in where I am, look in your tables, it is wood, you know, it is wood. Usually the altar is called wood, you know, and it's too a symbol of the inwards, like you see how it's also a symbol of the if you have a pig or a table that are crystal, it is a tabernacle, you know, what you call glass, it is tabernacle, you know. In where I am, when the roast pig, humans, the pig is all sprawled out, which is its legs is its legs is all sprawled out, which is in your book written, shall he washed in water, you know, before they roast the pig, they washed it first, you know, all that hot water, you know, which is, humans, that is the best offering you can offer. Whole herd, whole pork, whole pig, you know, that is the offering that humans should burn as sacrifice, an offering made by fire with a sweet savor, you know, humans. Black which is, I told you, sheep is not sheep is for wool, WOOL. Goat is for baptismal, burnt sacrifice, you know. That is what you burnt. The hairs of the sheep, the goats. Usually in this end, you make the sheep's the wool, you know, you make it clothes, which is sin, you know, it is sin, humans. When you make their hairs as clothing, it's meant of a sacrifice that need to be burnt, you know, which is a hair is no blemish. Why? Because the hairs of the sheep and the goats is there is no sin. You get it, humans? Balahari ko na gusto ro, tagtan ho namin.